And so the great leader has arrived, or so we thought.
Fooey.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the
Oh,
Rider Time Archive. And we are trying to beat the heat as best as we possibly can
you ain't
because,
just kidding.
yeah, in the writing of Maxwell Adams, it's hot.
Oh my God. It has been quite a warm temperature over here on my end.
Yeah.
The average this week, well, the highest was like at least 15, 16.
It was in the 90s for us.
And here's the thing, though. That's a nice summer walk over here.
Yeah.
We haven't hit I think the highest we almost hit last year, a couple years ago, was 125, 130.
Yeah.
Horrible. So, could it be Stalker behind this heat wave?
It very well could be.
Could be.
Especially,
Could it be Destron? Could it be crime? No
Could
joke.
could it
Who comes up with these
be
names?
could it be Crisis? Could it be God? Could it be Badan? No, it's the frickin' squirrels
It's
committing
them
arson.
crack squirrels.
Yes, and we're here to discuss Kamen Rider classic episodes 65 through 69, where we finally say goodbye to two characters. Some we're a little bit more sad about than others. But I do find it interesting how many kaijin randomly have flamethrowers in their mouths.
Yeah, you
Even though
didn't
they
have
have no.
that before.
Yeah, it's like we've seen a few, but some of them are just straight up random. And this episode, that's especially the case.
You know, as been stated many a times, this is where it all started. So they pretty much threw everything in the kitchen sink in this series.
Oh,
in
yeah.
terms of concept, of plot, of schemes. Look at like the monsters of the week. Hell, we have a shout out to at least future Kamen Riders in one of the episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. Now, obviously, this is back in the 70s, so it's like, oh, it's no big deal. But I'm like, huh. So you're telling me that this once was a bad guy, but then they used it. I'm like, technically, yes. You can kind of say that Batman was like a premonition or like maybe an homage to Kiva. So sometimes it's like, but this one was just like so like it's so obvious. I'm like, yeah, they pretty much, hey, let's take a look at this one armor or this one kaijin. That could be a hero, right? Or it could be a freaking armor from Monster Hunter. Have you played any of the games and gotten the beetle armors? I'm like, that looks like the kaijin from Kamen Rider. Even though many people go and change the colors to make it look like Stronger or Kabuto.
Yeah. I'll say this. I know later on, like all the shows are gonna have like characters based on monsters from past seasons. Like,
oh yeah, no, it's a given, but some of them are just like. Well, I know. We have not gotten to Zio, but I'm like, that's just shameful and lazy. But the concept is actually very interesting.
Yeah.
It's one thing to do an homage to past villains and kaijins, but to do an homage to past riders, and this is their corrupt form, and it isn't just like you repainted a suit and you actually warped it.
Mm-hmm.
I think out of all of them, because someone sent me something on Insta from TikTok which showed the other riders, and I'm like, all right, I've not seen this, so let's take a look. And it goes like, Ichigo, Kuga, Agito, just go on. And I'm like, All right. Okay, I like what they did with Oz. It's very beast-like.
Yeah, O's was actually one of the better ones.
Gaim was actually very good. Also, Hibiki, like the ones that were very like demonic, like kind of Japanese inspired. I'm like, all right, those are good. X-Aid was very like was very interesting. The rest of them,
I would say X-A was probably one of the weaker ones in my opinion, just because of the fists.
I mean, like his look, the look wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I know nothing of the other riders, but I'm like, yeah, it's stuff like that. So obviously, I mean, who would have thought, like after Ichigo, after this first Kamen Rider, we would have like. Riders based off of other insects or based off of other motifs outside of a grasshopper.
Yeah.
So it's all, I was just like, okay, I see it.
But, and by the way, I hope everyone's having a restful Memorial Day weekend. I know we got, most of us have Mondays off. I doubt in your line of work you do, but...
Actually, I'm surprised that I do. Actually,
wow, that's crazy.
I'm surprised that I do. Yeah. I mean, we got. I've tried to work it out to go to Anime Riverside this weekend, but I don't know if that's even possible because we do have quite a busy little lineup this week. So
yeah, but I will say this. Though. This weekend was Pasadena Comic-Con. It was really fun. I got to meet the cast of Lightspeed Rescue, and including the return of Sean Johnson, who hasn't been in the convention scene since 2014. He vaguely remembered me.
Remind me.
One of the most badass Spartan Red Rangers there ever was.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I have seen from a few people that went outside of you guys. A shouts to my friend and longtime, what I call Kohai, maybe, to Charlie, who was of the what was it, the Toko Network, who now has his own channel and his own thing. He was there. He was at the panel for Lightspeed, and it's always something to see, past teams get the love that they deserve. I'm like
25th anniversary.
Corporate America, take note of this.
Yeah.
Well, you already know what my feelings are about Power Rangers in general, but can we focus on something other than Mighty Morphin, please?
Agreed. And
can we stop? How many times must we release the Megazord? How many times must we give gimmicks that were never...
How many times must we reversion the original series?
Don't get me wrong. Apparently they're releasing the Dragon Dagger for the 15th time. And I'm like, well, I have the Lightning Collection one, and I also have the original one up there that is sealed in box, all right?
I have the original 1993 one.
I actually am trying to get my hands on a Ryu Soken,
just the Japanese one, yeah.
Yeah, but can we please, seriously, in space, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed, Time Force,
Jungle Fury,
Wild Force, Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, SPD for crying out loud.
Yeah, SPD is happening right now. And, if you're going to bring back Power Rangers, like remaster or whatever, what would have been the best season to do? SPD, because not only is it its 20th anniversary, but also the plot takes place in 2025.
Right now.
Somewhere, it would have been so appropriate, man.
Somewhere in America, there is a dog-shaped base and a furry's wet dream walking around with Anubis Kruger. Not Dougie, Dougie is the Japanese variant. We associate those are two different characters.
Yeah.
There's a
Dougie is a nickname for the American Anubis Cougar.
Only used by Cat.
Yeah.
But again, he said, no, don't mix me up with the other guy. Yeah. I'm like, there's another? Yeah. The Dougie.
Yeah.
And how come Deca Ranger gets more love than it does in America?
It's crazy. 10-year anniversary, 20-year anniversary.
Like so
and in each one, he gets a new battleizer.
And my wife still looks fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
I would also say thank you to that person who sent me the post from Deca Yellow that she was selling calendars, but sadly it's not international. Yeah. So thank you for letting me know that. But sadly, although I did get a like, I was like, ooh.
From her.
It's to be. Me and Jasmine are to be. Like no joke. No joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
As well as me with Sakura from Bokinger.
I have Shizuka, but still, I'm like. But then I was like, oh, but Steve, don't you have like a pink waifu? Technically, but it's not who you think. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people would say it's Aim. It's not Aim. I love Aim. Mm-hmm. I love Yuki. She's cute and sweet and very polite, but it's not Aim.
Yeah. But I love the fact that I also got to meet Sean Kanan, who played Mike Barnes in Karate Kid 3 and Cobra Kai.
I'm gonna be very honest. I have never finished watching Karate Kid. I have tried more. It's like that whole Peter Griffin thing where they're up to their necks in water.
Oh yeah, I've never seen The Godfather. It insists upon itself.
Oh my God, are you fucking like people get on like? But it's so. This is what everyone tells me. Like, but what don't you like about it? You know what? The story makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. It's like, what do you mean the story makes no sense? I'm like, here's this random new kid that shows up, and it's like instead of like trying to be cool with everyone, he just he's like very confrontive, very combative, and he starts getting into a group of fight with kids. But these are the cool kids who like go to this dojo, this karate school, and I'm like, when have you ever known a cool kid to take karate?
Never. Not until the 90s. Not until the 90s.
No. Even in the 90s. I mean, it's like Bruce Lee said, you're doing it to improve yourself. You're not doing it to impress. You're not doing it to like because
but see, that's the thing though. Like self-improvement is what makes you like intrinsically cool. You're like trying to be cool doesn't make you cool. Trying to be uncool doesn't make you cool.
Where in the books does it say, like, especially like, oh, you're like it again, that Family Guy thing. Oh, now we return to the realistic Karate Kid, and it's like, I'm gonna beat you in that martial arts tournament. We're gonna kick your ass. And like, you guys do martial arts, nerds. Yeah. And I'm like, well, we could talk about how so many martial artists. Like say, yeah, the Karate Kid, he should have been disqualified for that one move.
Yeah, I know. Like
we could go on that
fan theory. There's a fan theory of Karate Kid from Johnny's point of view. Then there was that episode of How I Met Your Mother, which while I did recently start watching How I Met Your Mother, I didn't get to that episode. I know that episode is coming eventually, where William Zabka is himself and becomes Barney's best friend. I haven't got to that yet, and yes, it will lead up to like the green lighting of a certain TV series called Cobra Kai, where Johnny straight up says the story as all the fan theories.
Oh no, yeah, I've seen the clip, and believe you me, but I'm like, yeah, I've not seen any of them. Even like the remake with Jackie Chan and all that, it was never my thing. And I'm like, hey, this is coming from a guy. As a child, I watched all the Bruce Lee movies, saw all the Jackie Chan movies, was a huge fan of Godzilla and Ultraman, big on the Power Rangers. And I'm like, I was like, how could you not? I'm like, you want to know why? It just like when people overhype something and then you finally watch it, it's like, okay, when did it start getting good? Because I'm just kind of there like, okay. And Pat Morita, love the man. a legend, absolutely a legend. I knew him as Arnold from Happy Days, you know, but it's like the whole wax on, wax off that always went past me. I had no idea. I had no idea until finally someone explained it to me, and I'm like, oh. But I'm like, good that you had fun meeting the cast of Cobra Kai. I'm like, that's cool. But I know some people are like gonna be asking me, oh, what's your favorite karate? I've never seen, nor have I ever finished the first one, so I cannot tell you.
Well, now it's your opportunity, because in June on the Buttery Show, we'll be going through all 6 movies, including the new one that's coming out this week. Yeah.
I don't want to be put into it though.
Yeah, but yes, on the subject of Sean King, yes, he has his own brand of hot sauce, and yes, I chugged this very bottle of hot sauce on camera. You guys will see it when we post the interview. We had 9 interviews from this convention, and we still have 19. Wait, no, not 19. Was it 19? No, we got 17 more interviews up to upload from MorphCon. So like we still and we did upload a few already. So like guys, like we do have more content, and we will be like trying to keep up with it. We just been like really like crashing out, trying to like do our regular weekly stuff with like Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and Gundam.
Oh yeah, the whole Gundam thing. We got a Gundam that's not a Gundam technically.
Yeah, and
it could be put there with G and everything else. But
yes, this is Cobra Venom. It uses Carolina Reapers, which means it is on the high end of the Scoville scale, which means I leveled up. Because Ghost Pepper, no problem. Carolina Reapers, I can eat the pepper, but I've never had hot sauce made out of it. So the fact that I chugged like through like half of this entire bottle, like, and still like no flinch.
Yeah. Right. Well, you can prove that you're a badass now.
Yes.
I'm hoping any future ladies interested in you realize what a man you are.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here to talk about the manliest of men, Mr. Sagatas himself, Takashi Hongo.
Oh yeah, no. But seriously though, this is like really good hot sauce.
I'd like to try it on a sandwich. But where did we leave off?
Start of the episode. 65.
And my tablet is not working, so I don't have the episode written down. I can't remember. It was, let's see.
I'll make it simple. It's a Kabutomushi episode.
Well, yes. So basically, we're rehashing the Mickey Mouse, the Shocker Mickey Mouse Club again.
Yep.
You know, we have these kids who are like, apparently there's a bus. There's a bus, because there's always a bus, about catching rhinoceros beetles with the Kamen Rider.
Yeah. Marina Dichotoma.
Not officially sponsored by Toei. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just some third party trying to get on the popularity of the Kamen Rider. Although I find it very adorable that they have this little boy in this episode who is wearing a Kamen Rider helmet. Like literally, like the top part of his head is the Kamen Rider. He even has a Kamen Rider tricycle.
Rider Man.
Yeah, technically it's Rider Man. Technically it is Rider Man. So I was just like, oh, don't forget, kids, to buy your official Kamen Rider helmet and little tricycle, all for the low price of $50. Again, for us, it's a low price, but back then, $50 was holy crap. Oh, the days. So yeah, apparently it's like, you know, all these kids gather around. It's like the Ivan Ooze, get your ooze here, you know, except we're filling them all up on a bus. And what winds up happening, like, sorry kids, full bus, next one, next time. I'm like, what? You couldn't have gotten a bigger bus? Well, anyway, yeah, they take them out to the woods. This ain't going where I think it's going, is it?
And they had to take those little like
but here's the thing.
Ski lifts.
Yeah, well, no, that's gonna be a thing, like, because apparently there's a theme park in this place that they were promoting as well. I found out, but they really didn't use it that much. They just used the ski lift part of it, which we'll get there. But yeah, so apparently the kids think they're gonna catch beetles with the Kamen Rider, which it turns out it's a lie. Did we not have beetles in like the first 2 episodes that they were using for communication as like for shocker, you know?
Beatles? I don't think so.
We actually get the actual kaijin that the Beatles are based off of.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, yeah, the beetle decides to squirt the kid with this special cream. Don't take that out of context.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the kids wind up getting. They come under mind control, and they become the most horrible things ever. Corporate shills in the wrong type of guy liner. The fiends.
Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Hell no! Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no!
Yeah, instead of giving your money to the main corporation, you're giving it to the BS Mickey Mouse Club. But yes, apparently for the kids and to show that you are evil, you must wear guy liner and a very light sapphire blue mascara. That is to show that you are evil.
It's clearly the work of Mascara from Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm just looking, I'm like, yeah, how do we make these kids evil? How do we you know, my daughter's learning cosmetology. She could probably do something.
So nepotism.
Yeah, because next thing you know, the kids are brought back, and well, that little boy that we were talking about that was trying to go because he's like, oh, I'll just go after them on my official Kamen Rider. He winds up bumping into Hongo and Takashi.
Yeah,
or Hongo and Taki, obviously, and it's just like, where are these guys never at? It's like always the right place at the right time.
To be fair, low key, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers did the same thing.
Well, how else are we supposed to get the plot moving? I mean, Japan might not be a big country, but I mean, apparently everything takes place in this unknown city that we're in. It's not Tokyo. It's not even. I don't think it's even where exactly are we? It's not.
Well, to be fair, they do move around sometimes for a whole episode.
I mean, it could be outside of Japan because a lot of the rural areas. I mean, obviously, it's not really
Alps.
Yeah. So, yeah. Apparently, the kids come back and they all look like Boy George before Boy George had his look together. And they try, and then the fiends. This little boy, this little kid who looks like around 6 or 7 years old is trying to talk to his friends, but because he's dressed like a filthy weeb, you're a Kamen Rider fan, like the same shit that everyone gets when we tell them that we're Kamen Rider fans or Toko fans. Ew. Brother,
no, for real though, it's like me being in the 4th grade and still being a Power Rangers fan. It's like,
well,
it's like all the other kids are like, you like Power Rangers? That's for babies, and I'm like,
again,
you watch Power Rangers too.
You're in the 4th grade. What the hell what? I mean, at that time, what was popular? I don't know. I don't even remember.
So Raven, maybe.
No, for me, it was like way later. But I'm like, what was? I mean, whatever. But it's like they're ganging up on this little kid, and they even say they're gonna kill him because he's dressed up like a Kamen Rider. I'm like, okay,
that is too far.
On nerd violence. This is pathetic. I bet you all that you all are freaking Messenger fans, and you got nothing to talk about.
Messenger.
Because Messenger, although great and amazing show, it was the same thing. It was as convoluted and a plot that I was like, wait, what? But because it's anime, like a battle as old as time itself, because it's anime, you think you're superior.
Mhm.
Well, guess what? Our waifus are real.
Yeah. They're 3-dimensional.
You guys only look at a piece of paper.
Or
And then you
pixels.
And then you find out who the voice actress is, and you're like, that's not what I thought she'd look like. Well, I think she's cute. I seriously do. How many people were like, oh my God, Lucy from Fairy Tail so hot? And then you find out who the actress is, and it's just like, do not talk shit about Aya Haruno, motherfucker. That is my voice actress wife. That is Haruhi Suzumiya. Thank you. But anyway, yeah, the Fiends. But luckily, Taki comes in and stops them from them actually giving the poor kid an awful waffle.
Yeah. An awful waffle.
And I'm like, oh my God, thank you, Taki, because I swear to God, I was about to kill
Taki's the real one.
Yeah, only to find out, like, so we got to follow, and now it's like time. What is Tachibana and the rest doing? I don't know. Building model cars.
Absolutely nothing. Yep.
Building model cars.
And now's a good time as any to bring up that this is Goro's last episode.
And what a way. Well, wasn't it 68?
65.
65. So, I mean, obviously.
68 is Emmy's last episode.
God damn it. But, I mean, the thing is that, you know what? Despite that this is Goro's goodbye, what a way he went at. He was actually doing something unlike certain people. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I know Yuri's here, and bless Yuri that she stuck around for so long.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And girl, you haven't been doing too very much lately.
But not yet. Not yet. You will soon enough, but not yet. You know, Goro winds up joining the kids on the bus.
Because Master of Undercover Espionage Goro's on the case.
Yeah, he's as productive as Detective Conan. Which I think Detective Conan was actually conceived, or maybe that's where they got the idea. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was Goro.
Yeah.
Because no joke, this kid is just like he's just doing stuff that Conan would be doing.
Oh yeah.
You know? But
breaking and entering, Master of Disguise.
And that show has been going on forever, way longer than One Piece. So shut your mouths, you dang weebs.
And on top of that, you know, like Goro can take a hit. Now we here at Team 4-Star do not condone child violence, but I will say this: when the kid unfortunately does take a hit, he takes it like a champ.
Oh yeah, no, Goro can grow up to be a champion boxer. That kid, he spots Shocker Grunts and the Kaijin along with Tachibana Sensei.
Oh yeah.
So that kid is literally he's up there with Mari and everyone else that like kicked ass. Like this was like yeah, you know what? We needed more people like this in later shows. I'm kind of tired of the. Don't get me wrong, the comic reliefs are great, but if they're just as weak or as pathetic as the damsel in distress that you always put in these shows, I'm sorry, Mari from Fies, but you kind of also did fall under that category, even though you were the most productive of out of all the girls. I mean,
it's like yeah, Mari from Fies. It's like, to her credit, she tried to keep the peace between Kiba and Takumi, but you're not wrong. She needed that blood transfusion. Everyone's fighting over her.
Yeah.
If she wasn't around, you know, Kiba, Takumi, and Kusaka, and low-key even Kaido would not be fighting each other as much.
I know. But that's the thing, like, you know what? That's the premise we have with the earlier Kamen Riders, that you could put kids in danger. You could put them in situations that I'm like, but nowadays, I know Japanese television can get away with a little bit more, but it's not as daring as it was in the 2000s or the 2010s. You know, nowadays a kid is just a kid. So
yeah,
you know, I mean, we would not see.
It might be relevant for an episode, maybe two if it's a two-parter, but let's be honest, that like when you look at Kamen Rider Gav, that kid from the very first episode, when do you ever see him again? Maybe in a flashback in the latest episode, But that's it.
But at the same time, it's like we'll never see, like, again, Abba Ranger and Fives were possibly the best examples that the little kid in the show was actually the villain the whole time. That was the disguised as a child. You would never see that in today's, like, never. You would never see, like, that a kid is the evil orchestrator of all this.
I mean, if you think about it, Abba Ranger is basically Sailor Moon season 2. If you really think about it.
It's Sailor Moon as it is intended, obviously.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, we all know that the creator of Sailor Moon is a huge Sentai fan. So
yeah.
You know.
So it's nice to pay back that homage.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But yes, so Goro, Taki, and Tachibana, they team up to fight against the possessed kids. And I'm like, how are you supposed to knock them out or get them out of the mind control? Are we gonna go like full on Temple of Doom and burn them to wake them up? No, we can't do that. We gotta stand here for like a minute or two and wait for the Kamen Rider to do something because, well, again, we must promote. Because we are given a full 2-minute long battle sequence
that takes place on the ski lift.
Now, again, a ski lift roughly goes about like maybe 5 to 8 miles an hour. You could easily walk the path, and I think they were. Because you're watching the fight take place, they're jumping on top of these things, which, again, the chair's right here, everyone else is like right here. So they can, it's just a whole like kicking, punching, knocking out. But then apparently they grab the Kamen Rider and fall like not even 3 feet down. And you see them fall down, and you see like the camera just panning down as they're like, we're now recording the battle from the front. I'm like, this is possibly it's like the OJ chase. And he's biting in his white Bronco down the 101. He's going at a speed of 25 miles per hour. This chase is incredibly fast, folks. The ski lift is only going 5, like at least like a kilometer an hour.
Which reminds me, on the subject of the white Bronco, if you've never seen the 1994 film The Chase, starring Charlie Sheen, watch that movie.
Yeah, or just go watch the OJ chase. Seriously, it's a classic.
No, but see, the beauty of the movie is it came out before the Bronco chase even happened.
Maybe that's where OJ got the idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my friend at gunpoint, but except the gun is actually what's it called? A Butterfinger.
Yeah.
Let's see the Simpsons pull that commercial off.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so apparently this battle just continues on, and I'm like, wait, were we not just at a theme park? Now we're on the bridge that has been in most Kamen Rider seasons.
This one a lot.
More famously, this was the bridge that Kamen Rider X was held at, like, was hanging and threatened to be thrown off of.
Yeah.
Many a times in his series. And I'm like, again, an augmented cyborg that could withstand the blast of a nuclear bomb. And your idea is to throw him off a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go back to that one episode in the previous batch of episodes where the dude's like, the hedgehog episode's like, oh yeah, no, like we threw him off, he's definitely dead.
Yeah, no, I'm just
no one could survive a fall like that.
Yeah, no, because again, it's the same thing. The Beetle assumes that there is no way the Kamen Rider will survive a fall like that. Look, I don't know what you guys are made out of, but I'm pretty sure Shocker blew the bank making this thing. Because no joke, this grasshopper man has been just dissing every single one of you, which species-wise is superior from a grasshopper. In fact, many of these creatures, hedgehogs, shrews, bats, birds, natural predators of a grasshopper. But you guys still get owned. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys came from the IKEA store of building cyborgs, where the Kamen Rider, I'm pretty sure they got them from Skymart. You know, that extra.
It's been years since I've heard that. Since I heard that name.
Extra $50 really went far back then. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's like, dude, you bought that back in 1998, and it's still good. I know. I bought the same one, but it just, I mean, it conked out on me like a year later. Again, the extra $50 just makes it better. I'm like, I guess so. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, the rider gives the Kabuto a kick. Oh, did I forget to mention that the Beetle and the rider fought before, and well, Takashi got his ass kicked for some reason. I don't understand how, but he did.
Yeah.
But then again,
he decided not to. Oh, and he advertised the plan while he was at it too. It's like, I'm gonna build a shocker school for gifted youngsters, and we're gonna open more branches all throughout Japan.
Again. So you're saying that you're planning on making a school. You didn't actually make the school.
But enrollment is already open for the fall semester.
Look, that's like saying I got investments in crypto, but the crypto you're showing me is not something that is an investment. It's like, bro, you got the cheapest crypto that there could be. Mm-hmm. What? I mean, unless it's Bitcoin or one of those gag ones like Shiba or something that just go ridiculously up. I'm like, well, what the heck did you get? Penguin coin? No.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think Bitcoin is all or crypto.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's many things I say that are a scam. I mean, we're not getting into it because I don't want the crypto bros coming at me because I don't want to hear it. But yeah, you know, it's one thing to say that I'm gonna make a school, and I'm like, well, here's the thing, and my evil genius brain is thinking of it. Why couldn't you just send the Beatles to the normal schools and gas them? Mm-hmm. You could have taken over the schools and the teachers, and they would have been secretly teaching the neo-Nazi way to the children of Japan without the Kamen Rider knowing, oh, I'm going to build the schools. We already have schools. Could you not have sent the Beatles to like do their thing and like slowly but surely infiltrate the Japanese school system? I mean, you already push your students to the point like you do your employees at corporate offices.
We are a secret club because of our agenda. It is a dark agenda. It is an agenda some other clubs may not agree with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Always think of trade schools, ladies and gentlemen. There are other ways to be successful.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah, one rider kick later, the Beetle falls from the same height he was going to throw the Kamen Rider, except, again, that $50 would have been really useful. But let us not fret. Let us not discourage. For we know that Kabuto will come back as a hero. And basically...
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah. There we go.
How did it go? It's like... I remember I told you it's like, yeah.
And basically he has conductor coils. For hands.
Or you could just do the whole Kabuto and just be like, cast off, and just there you go.
I wish he could have done that.
You know, I mean, obviously it's like it's not like Fives. It kind of almost sounds like Fives, but it's like watching the henshins. I'm like. Yeah, unless you do that one step, it's like cast off, and that's fine. I'm like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. We could go hyper form, but that's not till later.
Hyper form, hyper cast off.
But yeah, let us know for the Beatles will be back.
Hyper clock off.
Yeah, the Beatles will come back in their own show for Beef Fighter Kabuto and for Beef Fighter. Which is superior to Beetleborgs. I said it, at me, whatever you will. Ruby.
Oh, and don't forget Kabutak.
Yes, Kabutak. Yes.
Yes, and
Right,
whose
yes.
Christmas special included both Blue Beat and Gold Beat.
Yeah. I'm actually watching that show right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the episode because we get the kids back. Tachibana drives them back, and now obviously the single rider riding into the sunset type of nonsense. And now to the next episode.
You know, I will say this. While it's sad to see Goro go away, because let's be honest, Goro
He was a badass in this
yes.
episode. He really was.
I'm glad that unlike Linda, unfortunately, we still miss you, Linda. His final episode actually did focus on his character.
God bless you, Goro. You were,
You know, it's like the difference between Kimberly leaving the show and Aisha leaving the show.
Look, we didn't really give much of a send off because it's kind of just like whatever. But I mean, you know that's just the thing. You never think that the characters are going to leave the show. You never believe that, but they do for their own reasons. You know, obviously.
But what really sucks is that, like, as a kid, it's like when you're watching the season for the first time, you know, it's like you're thinking, oh, you're not thinking, oh, Goro's going to be gone for the remaining 30-something episodes.
You think
but,
he's going to stick around, but
yeah, and it's like when he's missing for the next couple of episodes, you're probably thinking, well, he's been missing for a couple of episodes before. Mari's been missing for a couple of episodes. Yuri's been missing for a couple of episodes. It's probably no big deal. And then you're like,
no, he's gone. He's gone. And they never speak of him again. He just went up the stairs and never came back down. But yeah, bless you, Goro. You put in the work. You are possibly one of the better child characters that has existed in Tokusatsu. And I'm
certainly better than that little girl who destroyed Keitaro's laundry.
Yeah, I will say, no joke, like, out of all the kids in all of Toko, and I'm talking about Ultraman, Godzilla, you know, Gamera, Redman, Zone Fighter, you name it. A lot of those kids were just like, they were just kids. They didn't do anything. They always hid, or they did the whole, like, cheering from, like, you know, you could do it, Kamen Rider, you could... Goro might have done that, but he was on the battlefield with the Kamen Rider. So, as far as I could tell, Goro, you are not an official Kenny. You are above a Kenny. You know, any kid that goes, I'm coining it now. A Kenny is an annoying kid in a live action show. But if you're a kid that's a badass and taking charge, you're a Goro now. That is my stance. I'm going to make buttons that are like, if I give it to you and I'm like, you're a Goro kid, I'm like, that's good. Bless you, Goro. You are amazing.
Yeah. But, next episode, we get two divers. And then some mosquito-looking dude. Basically,
he says he's the Mantis kid. And I'm like, where? I don't see it. It looks like a mosquito. Hell, it looks like what is it? A warfly, I guess. It kind of does. I mean, it's kind of like that the anime the Don where they actually kind of throw Ultraman and Sentai and Kamen Rider nods in there. It's kind of like, yeah, this looks like a reference to that, but it's actually Alien Bolton. Yeah, this kind of looks more like that, but you're saying you're the Mantis kid. I don't see it. But here's the question, though. So we have two divers who are just diving, you know, possibly trying to catch dinner. But the Mantis already exists, right? He's already there. He winds up gassing or throwing baby powder at one of the guys. I guess it's the 70s, so
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely that boa juice.
Yeah.
But yes, the other guy gets caught by this whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. This giant cross made of skulls.
Only
It's like, oh yes, it's Devil's Holiday or something like that.
I don't get it.
So like the soul of one human can revive 5 monsters. I'm getting Mr. Popo vibes where it's like, wow, we're in Zanzibar Heights. How we get here so fast? Oh yeah, it gets 10,000 miles to the soul. Oh, wait, what? To the gallon.
What? Edward Elric. Where? Take notes, goddammit. You could have gotten your brother's soul back if you had just found this cave instead of going through all this bull crap. Both the original anime and the manga and Brotherhood. You could have just gone to Shocker and they would have told you that. Just give me a body, kid, and we'll bring your mom back. And it's actually your mom.
See, this is why I hate the movie Sanguine Star of Milos. Because as fun as that plot twist is about like that one girl's brother, I hate the fact that the movie does involve them having an authentic Philosopher's Stone, not like one of those random red stones that the homunculi have. I mean like a full, proper Philosopher's Stone in hand, using it with impunity.
Yeah. And they don't even do what it is that they were going to do with the damn stone.
Yeah.
You have the MacGuffin, and you didn't use it the way that you wanted to.
Conveniently, we need to overtax it to fight the villain of the movie, just so we would have an excuse for it to be like destroyed by the end of the movie, so that when we go back to the TV show, it'll be as if the movie never happened. But it's like the movie still happened. First of all, Philosopher's Stone cannot be used up. That's the whole point of the Philosopher's Stone. That's the whole point.
It's a perpetual motion device. It is literally, it will never stop being what it is.
It is an unlimited fusion and fission.
It's
catalyst.
It's motion. It's cold fusion. It's literally going forever. It will not stop. So it's like, wait, we used it and then it was bullshit. Then it was worse than what the homunculus freaking make. Don't get me wrong. There's a whole mess of people that I could sacrifice to just get a freaking stone, and that's it. But yeah, so apparently one body is equivalent to 5.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not going to make any geopolitics jokes about this because, again, not button issue.
Seriously, the math ain't mathin'.
The math ain't mathin'.
If Edward Elric could not do it by getting the components that make up a human body to give to be a human body and only make an abomination that he thought was his mom but wasn't, wow. Crap. No. But one body equals 5. This is definitely not also Davy Jones logic, where Jack Sparrow's soul is worth.
See the thing is, actually there is a reason. There's actually an explanation behind it. So the reason why the whole 99 souls, the 100 souls thing happened was because apparently, Jack Sparrow was actually a privateer working for the East Indian Company, and he was supposed to transport cargo.
Pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Sparrow was part of the slave trade, but
he refused.
He refused.
So basically,
you can't have a heart. You can, because again, why do you think at the end of the Dead Man's Tales, you see all of those people at Teardalma's hut, and they're all African American, or they're all Africans, they're all black, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, actually, we find out about this from a deleted scene from the 3rd movie.
But again,
people ain't cargo, fam. Those were his words. People in cargo, savvy.
Yeah, no, but the thing is like, again, so why would these people why would they be mourning Jack? Unless Jack, and again, that clicked in my mind like, wait, back when that movie came out, it's like, wait, because again, Jack had the mark on his arm. That's a brand. And again, I'm like, yeah, well,
it's the mark of the traitor.
yeah.
Kami no sadame ni sae, honki no kiru ga so gangsta.
But yeah, the mathin with Shocker. Again, I wonder what god they're praying to. That is like, yeah, I give you $1, so give me 5. But they're 5 counterfeit dollars because really we've done this dance before where we have brought back past kaijin, and luckily we're not going too far back.
Yeah, we got Rhino Gung. We got Rhino Gung.
We have the frog from the movie up here in this episode. Yeah, I was shocked to see him. I was like, wait, so you're telling me the movie is canon?
It is.
Wow. Holy crap.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, something is canon.
Yeah. We also get that bearded dragon dude.
But I think I understand why. Like they 1 for $5, you know? I mean, this isn't like you're buying snacks at a convenience store. They're all ridiculously nerfed.
Yeah, like before they could actually talk. Now they only sometimes talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
Rhino Gung seems to like talk.
I mean,
they got Rhino King, and he does like a pathetic writer.
They do talk, obviously, but it's kind of limited. But then again, I'm like, well, you could just pull anybody and just voice them. You don't need to have the same voice. I mean, they're brought back, obviously. So, all right. But it's only to prove, like, yeah, you guys got to train because you've been gone for so long. They were dead. I don't think there's a gym in hell, not to mention you guys just threw their bodies in some unmarked graves. I'm like, bro,
there's the Yamcha situation where it's like
they're cyborgs. They're not gonna decompose. Also, I'm like, I would think you guys would have like maybe tried to rebuild them or something. And is there not a recycling program? And no, of course not. Because I'm like, can you imagine if they just do like a Frankensteinian type monster of all the kaijin that died?
See, the thing is, in some later seasons, they do.
That would be diabolical. That if like Shocker just, you know what? We're just gonna start pasting everything together. You know? Just why not? Why not? But they're not as evil as later on, you know. But yeah, because apparently we get this whole thing about like how the Kamen Rider is so much more stronger than they are. I'm like, didn't you guys come after the Kamen Rider? Excuse me, but I mean,
I would say maybe they learned their lesson when they died.
They didn't learn jack because it's like, again, the mantis fly silkworm thingy is just like ragging on them, like, you guys are so weak. You guys are like, the rhinoceros has a flamethrower. Jaguar Man was able to cut through stone. You just throw baby powder in people's faces. Tell me what is more menacing. Again, if we're comparing the caliber, I'm like, well, so far,
the frog dude from the movie.
Yeah, the frog guy, like, he had a pretty impressive powers in that film. So I'm like, what the hell, Bug Boy? What are you going off about? That because I haven't failed yet.
Operative word, yet.
And I don't have confidence that you're even going to do much in this episode. I will put down $1 for that. But
it's like this. I don't know if you remember Bionicle, but there was like this one, like in 2008, they tried to do this weird thing where it's like, instead of having all 6 good guys in the first half, of the year, and then all 6 bad guys in the other half. Sometimes they do the bad guys first. Sometimes they do the good guys first. What they do is they have the white, brown, and green good guy versus the black, red, and blue bad guys. And then in the other half, it's like the black, blue, and red good guys versus the brown, white, and green bad guys. You know, it's like they basically swap. So it's like 3v3.
Was basically trying to make a world out of this. So you have to start somewhere, you know?
Yeah, but the green dude from like the evil green dude, I swear to God, this Kaijin reminds me of that. Like I swear, like freaking
maybe
look at this. Look at this thing. Freaking hold on, give me one quick second. Look at this guy right here. Look at this guy. This dude right here.
Up for him.
This is exactly what I thought of when I saw this Kaijin.
Well, you know, as we've said many a times, especially in the 2000s, when you go back nostalgia-wise, we have noticed that a lot of people, despite the medium that we had back in the day, we didn't have. Let me sound old for a minute. We didn't have streaming. We didn't even have good internet back in the day. The internet was not what it is today, you know? So, and again, I'm talking about like 2000 up to 2012. All right, I'm talking about that. We still had VHS. DVD was a major thing. And again, I still collect physical media. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I have a huge collection of DVDs right over there. Heck, I have Ultraman Z on Blu-ray.
Yeah, especially with how companies are doing it nowadays. Oh, no. Forget, I'm buying physical media. You're freaking crazy. But the fact...
when they start emitting episodes of TV shows on streaming sites...
No.
Yeah, no, I'm getting the full Community, the complete series, so that when I watch season 2, we got that Dungeons and Dragons episode where Chang is rightfully called out for his uncouth cosplay.
Yeah, I am going to go and either Walmart or Amazon, and if not, I'm going to make a trip to my local book off and find the physical media, because goddamn, we're not doing this.
Which reminds me, I should go to the book off in Redondo Beach to see if they have Last Order Volume 17.
You know what? Check your local. That's where I go now to get all my stuff, and I found some pretty amazing things. So
yeah, food and stuff. That's where I get my food, and it's where I get my stuff.
But yeah, you know, the thing is that, you know, again, as I was saying, we didn't have. You know, if you wanted to get something from Japan, it took a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you had like underground like medias where people would like share, you know, obviously torrenting was big around that time. You know, we're all guilty of piracy in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Facebook life.
Yeah. And well, you know, and you see that in the medias of the mid 2000s up to the aughts. I mean, you saw that obviously with shows and cartoons referencing like Ultraman and this, but you didn't see it until now. Kids now are experiencing it. It's like I could be like, oh, that's an Ultraman reference. That's Sentai reference. That's this.
Oh yeah, no, I remember at the height of the Bleach popularity. It's like, hey, who's your favorite Bleach character? I'm like, Mashiro. Why? Because she's got the Mashiro kick. She's literally Kamen Rider. It's like what the hell is a Kamen Rider? I'm like, that's why you're uncultured swine.
That's why you don't get it. You're a weeb.
Yeah. Because
again, not to say that we know a lot of the culture, but it's kind of like pop culture where it's like, no, yeah, whenever you see the whole like more so in the 90s, remember, whenever you saw like someone go into a pool or quicksand or whatever comedic like thing or went down in a well, and they did the whole like as they're going down. It's like,
oh yeah. That's
Terminator.
Terminator 2.
Yeah, it's like we all knew it. And that's the thing that people are just barely understanding. Like, whoa, there was a lot of that. Like, of course, because why? Because the people who grew up with it are now making the shows, and then they saw this stuff, whether it be in America, Japan, or wherever.
Like freaking with X8. Like, I know we're gonna get to X8 later, and we will discuss this again when we actually do discuss X8. But when he uses special attack, what does he do? He blows on the gunshot because like, you know, it's a reference to like Nintendo Entertainment System wanting to blow into the cartridge. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, it was improvised. Like, originally the suit actor, I don't know if it was still Seiji Takawa, but when the suit actor had to do his finishing move, like he blew on his gosh shot during an outtake, and it's like I did it because it was a muscle memory. It's like I remember doing this as a kid. Yeah. And then the director was like, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's keep that in there. Let's make that a thing.
Yeah, no, that literally, I mean, it is, and that's the whole reference that people get or understand. It's like there's all these references. I mean, I could tell you, Bionicle, Ben 10, Steven Universe, you know, a regular show. All the show, you know, anything there was always a reference in there somewhere. I mean, you'll see it, you'll know. But no, that's the thing that
freaking Ben 10 turns into an Ultra.
Yeah, it turns into an Ultra.
And then when he becomes Ultimate way big, he becomes Tiga.
Yeah. And again, Tiga was also broadcast in America, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are on the whole we were here about talking about the Kaijins and them taking over. Side note that I put down for this episode, the Shocker Graveyard, the revived monsters. Apparently Fujioka Sensei was not in this episode. Physically.
Yeah.
But him transformed as the Kamen Rider, he was.
Yeah.
For some reason, he was not, and it's not really stated in the episode why he wasn't there, because I was like, wait, so why are we focusing so much on Taki? Because it's like Taki winds up going to his apartment, and we find out that I don't know why, but apparently Hongo left like a hair or a wire on his door in case someone went in, and Taki just knows it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Only to find
out. So like this one dude is like hiding out and stuff, and it's like, oh, Shocker's out to get me. Shocker's out to get me. Hongo told me to come here. When? How?
And why did you? And if Hongo did tell you to come in, why didn't he tell you about the wire trick? This is very suspicious. But apparently, they just pull a Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah. Wall. I'm like, is this Takashi's place? Because he sure as hell is not getting his deposit back because of that.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I would assume he has insurance for that because after all, he's Sega to Sanshiro.
Yeah, but yeah. So apparently, we have all the Kaijins. Hedgehog, Frog, all of them are surrounding and chasing after Taki, but then the Kamen Rider shows up only to Taki gets captured.
Yeah. Oh, but before that, Emmy finally does something useful. No, that's Yuri. No, Emmy brings a sandwich, and that's not me being sexist. I mean, like, she literally hasn't done anything useful in the entire season except for bringing a sandwich. Did she fight any Kaijin? Barely. In the first episode she shows up in.
I mean, she kind of got a weapon when Tachibana Sensei told her to, but we
it's
don't.
It's like 25 episodes later.
Yeah.
It's like, but hey, you know, like when you're in distress, you need a sandwich. Like you need the carbs, you need the lipids, you proteins,
go
and we need
down,
to barricade the place.
go down to Jersey Mike's and get yourself a sandwich microwave. We're not sponsored by them, by the way.
Yeah, now here's my question: why didn't you make more sandwiches for Tachibana or Yuri or new girl whose name still escapes me?
Yeah, I don't know who she is, but regardless, here's the thing. So Shocker knows who the Kamen Rider is, obviously, but also knows who Taki is. And they also are aware of Tachibana, the Tachibana Motor Club. So they know where they are. They just never have decided to pull a full-on assault like the Foot did in the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Or Diva talks in the final episode of Turbo.
They never just thought to swarm the place, but in this they actually did because well, you know what? They're not animals. I know they're animals, but they're not savages, okay? They actually called ahead. They actually said, are you guys home? Yes. Why? Yeah, we kind of got you surrounded, just to let you know, because Yuri answers the phone, because, again, the guy is explaining, he's saying that Shocker's after him, and I'm like, I know you. Any guy with a Hawaiian shirt, that's a red flag.
Oh yeah, like if the Lululemon didn't tip you off that the dude was a Martian.
Yeah, remember evil people. If you're dressed in Johnny Was or with Tommy Bahama, you are evil.
Yeah, could someone evil dressed this fabulous,
fashionable? Yeah, no, they're evil. Pure evil. Because anyone who pays that much for a simple shirt, you have to be diabolical. I ain't paying $150 for no white shirt, man. I don't care what Kanye says. Looks like a rag I clean my car with.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, he sold plain white tees for $500. Yeah. Crazy part is people bought them.
Screw that.
Effing bought them.
But I'm like, the Shocker grunts and along with the Kaijin surround the motor club, and I'm like, pay no attention to the cosplayers outside. It's just the line for Kamiket. The line is like hella long, as we all know. You know, it's just some random cosplayers. Pay no mind, ladies and gentlemen. No joke. In one shot, you see a little old lady walk past the screen like the youth of today and what they wear. I'm like, I don't think that lady was supposed to be in the shot.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's like, well, at least they called ahead, but they gave them time to barricade the doors. I mean, what actually let that happen? I mean, they do. They try, and bless their hearts and bless Tachibana and Taki for like holding the fort down and fighting the hedgehog and the bearded lizard while the girls just
cower in the corner.
Yeah.
And again, I don't expect much from Emmy. Toko, you're new here. I have even less expectation from you. Yeah. But Yoko,
Yoko, what happened?
So Yuri. Yeah. Yuri, like what do you like you've been a badass since episode 14.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to you, Yuri? But maybe this is the part where she finally realizes, you know what? I think I need to get back to being a badass. I've really let myself go, you know? It's like that moment you realize that, like, bro, I used to pardon me. I used to bench press like 120, 150, and I can't even do that. My girlfriend is seriously being neglected. Take that as you will. But it's a point of like, and I don't have a girlfriend, so it's a point of like, you know, I really need to start hitting the gym again, or I really need to get back to my craft of doing this again. That's the point I'm trying to make. You know? Yeah. Because I would imagine, like, if this was the Golden Girls, our Powerpuff Girls, our Charlie's Angels, Mari, Yuri, and
Michi.
They would have just been like, "Let's go, bitch, let's go."
Yeah, they were practically Tachibana's angels.
Yeah, I'm like, freaking A. But no, we ain't got that.
Hello, girls. Hello, Toby. Girls, I have a mission for you. Shaka's attacking the quarry. Do you mind to take care of them? Yes, Toby.
No joke. And this is before Charlie's Angels.
Mm-hmm.
I guess James Bond was like an inspiration for Charlie's Angels, but also an inspiration for these three. So, yeah. And again, Tachibana has to fight them off, but Taki and the guy run away. The Kamen Rider shows up, and Taki tells the Kamen Rider to take the guy because they're after him for some reason. I don't know why. And I'm like, don't take the guy. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't give them the guy, because they had so many chances of getting the guy, but they never do. They never do. And finally, yeah, here it is. There it is. 100%. The asshole winds up turning out to be the Mantis Man. Fly larval thingy.
Yeah.
How? We already saw him attacking the other guys. We saw him wait.
Sacrificing the dude.
Yeah. So did you augment yourself into, so what were you, a ghost?
Did you put his skin over yours? Puts lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose?
Did you do the Men in Black thing where you kind of just grabbed them, pulled them into the hole, and then ripped the skin off and wore it and asked for some sugar water? You know? No?
That would have made more sense.
Yeah. I'm like, what happened? What was that? I don't know. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So cue the battle again with the Kamen Rider and the monsters, to the point that we go from the inner city out to the beach again.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
So apparently all three of these episodes, all three of these episodes 27, episodes 66 and 67, they're both missing Takashi. Like Fujioka's just absent completely.
It's crazy, because again, the notes here, I have that also, where he wasn't in this one either.
And there's no explanation for it either.
There's no explanation. Maybe I don't know. Well, again, you tell us in the comments where you think Fujioka Sensei was, or what had happened. I mean, obviously he's fine because he came back for 68, but still.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the tale as old as time, and this is the second time Hongo has done this, where he's fighting past kaijins, all in just one. Actually, no, a third time, because we did it before he left, and then we had the one with Ichimonji, and now we're doing this again.
Yep.
Wow, we're really just trying to stretch a yen here, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
But in Sue, you can just kind of assume, the whole, actually, like, I could rider kick all of you, and I will, but they're not gonna all explode at different times. We have to stockpile and then blow them up. What are you doing? Huh? What?
Yeah.
So, and as for the mantis, caterpillar, ladybug thingy,
What a freaking Green Makuta from 2008.
yeah, whatever that thing is, again, it just happens to be the ignition to blow everything up, because that's what winds up happening. And yeah, also the motif of so the reason why they went after Tachibana was because they finally decided, maybe we should go after the motor club.
Mm-hmm.
But because all the kaijins were beaten, the shocker grunts just ran away like cowards and let them go, only for them to see the Kamen Rider way over there. And then
Also, I still don't get why he's called Kamakiri Kid if like he's a longhorn beetle.
he's a nah. The longhorn beetle made more sense in Kiva. That looked like a longhorn beetle. This thing is like,
I was literally going to explicitly mention Kiva.
Again, it looks like, I know that the freaking alien in the Don looks like Alien Bolton, but I'm like, are you sure that's not this thing? I mean, I'm pretty sure the creator of the Don was also a fan of Kamen Rider. I mean, I'm pretty sure because any mangaka, let's just be honest, they're all huge dorks.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You know, it's not crazy that, you know, maybe this was his favorite episode or something. Maybe a lot of kids do enjoy these Clash of the Kaiju type episodes. But
Takashi rescues everyone from being crucified effectively, does a 5v1 battle, and basically right kicks everyone to submit the reins. Even Taki's like, I'm here to help. No, I'll take care of it. Taki, I'll take care of it. But I'm literally right here. I fight Kaiju too. Yeah. But here's the thing though. I had no screen time.
Yeah.
I'm the Kamen Rider. Let me do it.
I mean, fine. I'm like, okay, so yeah.
And part of me wonders how much easier would things have been if Taki just simply became a Kamen Rider. Not just in terms of like, insert. I mean, even like behind the scenes wise.
Well, that's kind of the thing also that some people have asked me. It's like, at this point, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Tachibana and Taki already know about Hongo and Ichimonji that they're Kamen Riders? And I'm like,
yes.
You would think, but at times it kind of feels like they just forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Because one episode, they're like, you know, Hongo, Ichimonji, like this, and then the next, it's like, where did Ichimonji or Hongo go?
I mean, I'll say this for Ichimonji specifically, they don't have an excuse. They both were physically there the first time Ichimonji transforms in front of them.
There were episodes that did, and especially in this part with Hongo, I'm like, it can be confusing, but again, it's like I said, the shows are episodic that where you could tune in at any point in time and just enjoy the show. It's
like if you randomly tune in to episode 62,
it's almost as if you started on episode 1 because it's like, well, every episode is just its own thing. Imagine like, I watched the first 2 episodes of Gaim, which you can watch for free on the official Toei Facebook and YouTube right now, but then you wind up catching another episode, but it's episode 35 of Gaim, and it's like, whoa, I saw 1 and 2. What happened to everything from 3 to 34? Well, why are you watching 35?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go, well, where do I watch it? Then I'll tell you, but don't watch this. Spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what happened? I was like, don't watch it. This and the Showa era was just sit down, watch, and enjoy. That's it.
Yeah. Like I said, like if you're watching the original on Pluto TV, like you just randomly like go on to Pluto and then go to Tokusatsu back when it existed here in America. It's like you would randomly catch episode 61, I think. You know, the one where Goro is, electrified, and it's like you wouldn't even notice that. Yeah, that's Emi and Toko and not Mari and Michi, because you haven't registered those characters enough to like know that these are 2 completely different girls from the ones you've seen in episode 14.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And that's sad because Mari deserves better.
Yeah,
and Michi deserves better.
But the next episode here, because
episode 67. Now this one's a little bit interesting, but it's still, it's still Kazuya focused.
Yeah, again, Hongo is not present unless he is transformed in the rider suit. And let's see. This episode was also aired on Net along with the premiere of Android Kikaider episode 1. So by the time Kamen Rider is already kind of almost ending Kikaider, that one guy that we saw in that one episode of Guy, you know, which is another creation of the creator and mangaka Ishimori Sensei, is you know, again, a premise of tokusatsu. But this was the first time that he was ever actually brought in and made a show of, which later they adapted into an OVA anime series. Good luck trying to find physical copies of that, but you can find it on YouTube if you want, if you so wish. And also created the villain Hikaider, which is now like an anti-hero.
Hikaider, yeah. And what's really interesting about Hikaider is that he has like 4 major enemies based off of like really common tokusatsu villain tropes.
Well, also based off of the Archangels, so
more or less,
I guess. But yeah, for some reason Fujioka Sensei was not in here, but this is actually, and the title is kind of misleading because
the great leader allegedly appears.
The Shocker leader appears, the rider in danger. I'm like, so are you telling us we will actually get to see Great Leader appear in the episode? We'll just
you can see a little bit of what he's going to look like.
We're gonna sit down and watch, because this is really something that we must behold. But yes, again, we haven't mentioned Ambassador Hell in a while, but he's here. Obviously, he's been a major.
He's been the villain for like the last God knows how many episodes. I mean, obviously, he's been around since episode 53.
I mean, he's doing something, but I mean, if I was Great Leader compared to the other commanders of Shocker, I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Hell?
Compared to Dr. Shinigami,
what exact? I mean, I would have thought that having the Wolf Nazi was like, you know, yeah, we got rid of him, good, but what are you doing? This disheveled Russian Nazi is doing more than you guys, and he's just now a side character. But yeah, so apparently Shocker is running a business meeting with other commanders from other branches of Shocker, because we actually have seen, yeah, these guys have gone international. But
they've been international, to be fair.
Funny, no, but I mean, like, international in the ways of they're not all Japanese. And they're not all wearing those dumb costumes. I don't know what it is about cosplaying, but apparently the Japanese just cannot stop cosplaying while doing evil Nazi propaganda. But yeah, so the story commences with Hongo and Takashi. Apparently, they find out that there is a company retreat with a free cruise and multiple different people, Muslim from Hungary, one from China, and they're all pretty much like just people from the area. You got these international people here? I don't know, but you did. They're not all in costume, though. I'm thinking that's strictly a Japan thing.
It could be.
Could be. But yes, apparently they do an infiltration of the Shocker base, which, again, not that hard to do. Shocker pretty much has the doors open all the time.
Yeah, it's like, how many times has Tachibana made a milk run? Not Tachibana, Taki. But also, yeah, Tachibana too, if we're being completely honest.
Tachibana, Mari, Miku, Emi.
Goro showed up accidentally.
Yeah, they've all pretty much, I mean, is it so, not to mention, again, with the rhinoceros beetle, yeah, everyone knows that Shocker exists, but no one can pinpoint where they are.
And some people still choose to be completely ignorant of it.
Monster came out and grabbed my mommy.
Now you know, dear, there's no such thing as monsters.
Because again, ignorance is bliss. But there's no Nazi monsters running around Japan. It's the It's the girl from Bon Sing Se all over again.
There is no war in Ba
No
Sing Se.
war. There is no war here. What? No, of course not. I bet you subscribe to chemtrails, honey. I bet you do. Anyway, so yeah, the Kamen Rider infiltrates the base and finds a bunch of clansmen sitting around a table.
Yeah, see, like we could talk about the first half of the episode, how Tachibana got attacked by the shark dude, and the shark dude has a flamethrower, but really, it doesn't really matter. He gets rescued by the Kamen Rider. They have a motorcycle fight scene. There's a bit of acrobatics.
I'm surprised it took us this long to get a shark in, like, as a kaijin. Like, you would think that would have been an earlier thing to do, but no.
Even Taki like gets stopped by a bunch of shocker troops barricading a road. But we do find out the location of the secret meeting, which is somewhere near Kuzisawa.
And again, it's just the thing about infiltrating the base, which is so easy to do.
Yeah.
So easy.
Yeah, it's like our boy Taki, like he does his best to like do all the homework. And like for real though, I do like the fact that he's actually like doing the homework. He's actually doing detective work. Taki is a real life hero. Not a superhero, but he's a hero.
Well, not all heroes wear capes.
Or scarves.
Some of them will wear bell bottoms.
Yeah.
But
we get a bunch of tourists. We've got a black dude named Mohammed from Morocco. And then we get a Humphrey from Gibraltar. And of course, we got Yang from Singapore. And what's really weird is like I feel like some of them have switched. Oh yeah, and Chung Fu Ti from Hong Kong. And I'm like, it'd be interesting if we actually saw these guys actually turn into shocker monsters. Because it's like we got the cactus dude from Mexico. We got Colonel Zol from the Arabian Peninsula. We got Dr. Shinigami in Switzerland, Ambassador Hell from Southeast Asia. And again, like if you're from Southeast Asia, why is there a guy from Singapore?
I mean, they could be used later. I mean, we all know that they're there, and apparently the Kamen Rider has stopped all transportation out of Japan. So, I mean, it could be possible that maybe the later Gaijin are these commanders that they had. So, I mean, it is possible. It is possible because now we're not reusing Gaijin yet. We've got to make new ones. Mm-hmm. But, yes, the meeting goes as planned. And again, the overbearing speaking. Like, is everyone deaf at this table? That you have to, like, I have to yell so you can hear me. We must take over Japan with the power of Nazis. What?
And cyborgs.
I said we had to take over Japan like we did with Nazis. What? Can you bring it down? Because you got spies. I'm like, no wonder Shocker winds up getting ripped apart. They're talking so loud that I'm pretty sure they heard them all the way in Uruguay.
Yeah, everyone knows all about.
We are a secret club because of our agenda.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah,
and yet people say Shocker. What's Shocker? What is that? Did you not hear the great leader talking?
Monster came out and grabbed my mommy.
Now you know, dear, there's no such thing as monsters.
I swear that receptionist is more evil than Queen Benshira herself.
Well, honestly, it's diabolical either or. But yeah, so obviously the Kamen Rider thinks because we have one clansman that just sticks out like a sore thumb because he's wearing all red.
Oh yeah, that can't possibly be the Imperial Wizard.
Yeah, there's no way. It can't be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's a round table, so how did no one see you like creeping up behind him and revealing it's a mannequin?
Oh my God, Roger Kelly's a doll the whole time.
Oh, but I'm like, all right, so yeah, Hongo, it's a trap.
This whole meeting was all part of an evil plan to trap you in here.
We are a secret club because of our agenda.
Yeah, apparently the shark also gives off gas. Not just the flamethrower, but also gas that winds up filling the room and almost sort of kind of inconveniencing the Kamen Rider.
Hey, I'm playing Metroid Prime for the first time. I literally just like ran past a room that had a lot of gas in it, so I can relate.
When you get that speed upgrade, it's like, screw this, I ain't dealing with no gas. But
weirdly enough, there is no speed upgrade for Samus and Prime. At least not yet. I haven't gotten to it if it exists. I mean, there's kind of like a ball boost for Morph Ball, but no, definitely not the speed boost that you normally see from like the main games.
But yeah. Oh God. So but this trap is also a very easily escapable trap. Because a couple of grunts, but then they get gassed, and I'm like, maybe you should have sealed the room, couple steel panels. I don't know.
Even Stomach was smart enough to use gas masks when they tried to turn an entire airplane full of people into human presses.
I heard about that. I've not seen much of Gov.
Let's just say.
Although I do know that they do rag on the weebs.
Yeah,
very, very horribly.
Like I'm gonna put it to you like this. Longo, the eldest of the 5 siblings, technically 6, he is a freaking menace. He manages to turn more than 300,000 people in just 24 hours into material for Dark Candy. And if you're thinking, like, why didn't he do something like this in the first episode? Because I was thinking that in the first episode. Like, why don't they do it on that scale? But they actually explain it because it would be too conspicuous. And I'm like, good job, writers. You actually explained why a certain plot hole exists. And it's actually better than just simply, oh yeah, Lothar didn't pay for the premium subscription on his PAM.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's the same thing with this episode. If you had just paid a little extra to seal off this room properly, get some proper weather stripping and whatnot, you could have gassed the Kamen Rider and maybe it killed him, but I'm not sure. Only for it to, again, the fight burst outside with the shark kaijin, and well, it kind of goes the same way as you always think it would be.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah, a good old rider kick to the face, and then the shark blows up, which I actually did enjoy the look of this kaijin, you know? Kind of a shame that it just had to been used here. Not really focusing so much on the kaijin. We're kind of like, are we going to see the great leader finally? No. So why did we say? Well, we said he has appeared, but he kind of appeared in the last couple of episodes. We didn't see him, but he was there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and of course, when the Kaijin explodes, Taki's like, "Wow, that is one crazy explosion. I hope Takashi survived." Of course, he did. He's the Kamen Rider.
Here's the thing with that: the freaking the explosion of this one shark was able to destroy an entire island.
Meanwhile, multiple Kaijin we've seen in the past just that's it. Just
what
tiny.
Did the dang squirrels have something to do with this asshole? Like, did they fuel him up with the experimental jet fuel? Like, was his blood made out of napalm? Was it Agent Orange or something? What, like this one Kaijin, this one shark blew up more than the shark from Jaws, the Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And take your pick of which cut of that shark blew up. Was it the sock puppet or was it the actual stabbing that caused the explosion? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Take your pick. Or was it Jaws 3D? What was in this shark that caused an entire island to just blow up? But it was cool.
Yeah. But I'll say this though. Moving on to the next episode, we're finally getting our last episode with Emmy. And on top of that, Fujioka is back.
Again, what? Where were you? What? Were you sick? Did you catch a flu or something? I don't know.
I mean, maybe he's probably taking his health a lot more seriously so that, he doesn't he doesn't cancel himself for another 39 episodes.
Yeah, those doctor's appointments, man, you got to keep them. It takes a long time to see a doctor. You got to be literally dying to see a doctor nowadays. But,
I remember Johnny talking about how back in the 90s, they would do they would VA, or not VA, they would ADR for 3 episodes a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, all right, the next episode
68.
Dr. Shinigami, the terrifying true form.
Yes, we finally get to see it. It's been teased so hard when he made his escape in episode 52.
Yeah, so... Oh boy, because this is the thing with me in this episode, So, let's just get it out there. So, Dr. Shinigami, as all commanders, he is also a Kaijin.
Yep,
that's a given. Every single commander is a Kaijin, no matter what.
Plus, he has that vestibular power. The vertigo that he gave Taki in that one episode.
Right. But again, it's inevitable that, just like in many Kamen Rider Sentai, Garo, Guyver, eventually the monster beast form always appears. And what is Dr. Shinigami?
We will find out.
No, really, what is he?
Ika Devil. Or as the Decade version likes to say before it transforms, Ika Debira. Yes, in Kamen Rider Decade, he actually has to eat a fried squid and then drink a bottle of beer in order to transform.
It reminds me of my time in Japan when I would go to the bars and get a Sapporo with a roasted squid and just.
I love how you specifically went with Sapporo because that's the specific brand I was thinking of. Not the Kiri.
Ichiban is good too, and Asashi is great as well. But I guess.
But for squid, you gotta go with the Sapporo.
It's gotta be Sapporo. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But again, I am just a gaijin in this. If anyone else knows what is a good beer, or like again, believe you me, I've had the hard ciders over there. Holy crap!
Yeah.
And but here's the thing. So finally, this is also a Tachibana Sensei heavy episode as well.
Yeah, because this new mysterious villain, the Ika Devil, wants to capture Tachibana in order to make him train his evil shocker soldiers, because apparently he's done such a great job training Takashi Hongo.
When? That's the thing. I ask when. Because most of the time when we see Hongo and Tachibana Sensei together, it's usually them racing motorcycles. We've never seen like a Rocky montage.
Episode 3. That's the only time we see it. Episode 3.
But never once. I mean, obviously Hongo was gone for a majority. But afterwards, I'm like, well, we got to go all the way back when to see him train him. I'm like, okay, I guess. Yeah. So,
like even in Kamen Rider X, it was low-key V3 that trained X to use that vacuum hell wheel kick or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Now we all know that Tachibana Sensei is like the Roshi of the Showa era Kamen Riders.
Yeah, he's the Mickey.
He's the guy who like has trained them. Who was like, he's kind of like the Lucius Fox.
Yeah,
it's
like you're gonna eat lightning and crap thunder.
And we must respect Tachibana Sensei. We must also respect the actor, as I've said. A great man, an amazing actor who has had years under his belt and also under Tokusatsu, Ultraman.
Oh yeah, no, like even when we discussed Ultraman 66, like how many times did we refer to him as Tachibana and not the actual character that he played?
Play the professor, yeah, I know. Yeah. So again, we must show respect, obviously.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that I was just like, okay, so we wind up in the episode of Tachibana Sensei picking up a friend from the airport. I don't think this is Narita Airport. It could be the other airport.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But again,
basically, this is a rehash of the Scorpion Man episode, except instead of it being the students, it's the teachers.
Yeah, at this point, it's like we have a Scorpion Man to Tachibana's Kamen Rider, where it's kind of like you had a choice to be, you could have been something great, obviously. Yeah. But instead, you chose the easy way out, which, again, it's something we saw with Hongo, but it's more heavily implied here because with the whole Scorpion Man thing, it was just out of like, if I eliminate you, then I'll be the best. But in this case, it's more of like, yes, I made my choice, but I regret and I repented because it's hurting not only my friend, but me inside, seeing what my friend has to go through. It's more superior to the Scorpion Man story than anything else, because I believe the other sir is called Kazumi or something like that. He's a friend of Tachibana, and they go way back, obviously.
Yeah. Also, they tease the Gel Shocker uniforms.
Yeah, and what winds up happening is. Well, originally before that, apparently a giant meteor or some space rock falls in onto where a festival is, and that's where the Doctor appears. Because apparently some idiot who has never seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space, you never touch the thing from outer space. Also reference to the Blob. Don't ever touch stuff from outer space.
Yeah, or Spider-Man.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. But apparently the poor girl winds up getting attacked by Dr. Shinigami, which that has no premise or basis
or relevance.
or relevance to the story. It just kind of
just to remind us that he's just that menacing.
He's back. Cool. Great. Doctor Who came back. I'm pretty sure that whole Mechanic Kong bullshit didn't work out. You know? But yeah. So I was confused at this point because I thought that the Squid Devil was a different kaijin. I thought it was just like, oh, it's kind of like when he brought the electric catfish and whatnot. It was just something. Have we noticed that the Doctor uses a lot of aquatic creatures in his experiments?
Oh yeah,
kind of weird.
Yeah.
But,
well, when you think about it, remember how in Kiva, like each of the 4 members of the Checkmate 4 had like their own motifs.
Yes.
Yeah. So like I'm thinking it's kind of like that, but the thing is, it's not quite as clear as it was when we did it with Kiva.
Well, yeah, it's kind of the same thing with the greed and whatnot, but here it's kind of like, I mostly noticed it with Shinigami that he was using a lot of aquatic kind of, whereas like the past, it was just like random assortment of, kaiju.
But I'll say this, watching Dr. Shinigami bounce around on a trampoline in front of Tachibana.
That's the thing that got me, that I was like, what? So
it's like that scene from Mighty Morphin season 3 when like all the bad guys were like doing the conga line at Ernie's juice bar right in front of Ernie, Bulk, and Skull.
But here's the thing though. So apparently Tachibana Sensei takes his friend to, I guess, the observatory for some reason. And his friend calls out to him like he got attacked, only for it to be a trap, that it's Dr. Shinigami. And then we find his friend is like, he tells him, Kazumi, get back. I'll save you. And then his friend knocks him out, which I'm like, you rat bastard. Only for him to come alive in a shocker base and for him to be like in a lighter blue.
Your audio kind of like cut out.
Oh, did it? Am I back?
Hold on. Let's try for a second. Hello?
How's that?
Better.
Okay. So apparently, like, his friend tells him that he is with Shocker, but he's not a kaijin. He's not in it. He's just a trainer. He's training the kaijin. He's molding them to be better fighters, blah, blah, blah. And
this feels as nonsensical as that episode of Lightspeed Rescue when Chad's seafood decides to train that Cyclops dude.
Well, again, it's one of those things that, like, all right, so yeah. So what was that damn school that stupid thing was bragging about? The assassination school that he went to that he wouldn't shut up about. What the hell was them? What? So you're telling me you create these cyborgs and just is that why they all suck? Is that why they're so inept that even the simplest of plans is that they don't have proper trainers?
But you're freaking Nazis.
You're
not cyborgs.
And you are international crime syndicate. You're telling me you guys don't have a gym?
You allegedly destroyed Mexico's entire economy by blowing up a dam.
Again, let us remind ourselves of what Heath Ledger said to a half-burnt Harvey
district attorney,
a half-burnt district attorney. Okay, he said, "Look what I did to this town with a barrel of gas and a few bullets." Point proven. You don't need an army to conquer a territory, a country, or whatever. You just need the right tools and maybe 2 guys who know what they're doing to cripple an entire territory. You don't need a lot to do it. You may think, no, you don't. It's the threat that is unseen that is the worst. But again, what what just kicks me in the groin here is that, yes, so we have Tachibana Sensei obviously has to do it. He's training Dr. Shinigami.
It's like, sure, at the beginning, when you watch the episode for the first time, you don't know it's him. But when you do know it's him, it's like,
what I mean.
What the hell?
What are you serious? A commander, a guy who has, like, I would imagine has proven himself that he is a deadly force to not be messed with. It's kind of like if it's as if, like, if Han Solo was frozen in carbonite and then taken to the Emperor and told, the Emperor tells Han Solo,
I need you to become my personal trainer. I want to bulk up a bit.
I want you to train Darth Vader. Excuse me, what? What?
Darth Vader's going through some physical therapy, so he needs you to help him recover.
But the thing is that, again, and again, we don't know it at this point, but Tachibana is there with a whip, and he's just like,
whipping.
He is whipping the doctor.
And it's like, again, it's like you wouldn't think of anything because it's like you don't know that's the doctor. You're thinking some random monster of the day. It's like, oh, I need to train him. I'm going to train him as best as I can because I have no choice. But when you contextualize the fact that you've already seen the episode and you know that's the doctor, it's like,
I mean, you see a bunch of the Kaijin that already died, and they're here.
Yeah, you saw the Kabuto guy right there.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they probably sacrificed the dog or something and brought him back, but
John Wick forbid.
But maybe a little girl, I don't know. But yeah, it's always like the Kamen Rider will destroy you with that kick if you don't train hard enough. And I'm like, this is Dr. Shinigami. The man
you already beat the crap out of him at the beginning of the episode. Yeah. What more training would he even need?
Yeah, what the heck? What was the vertigo stare just like, a fluke? Was it like a stinkmeaner level? Like, oh, he's not some blind swordsman. He's just some blind ass old man that just got lucky because Granddad hit his cane and knew he was coming. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever. And then obviously Tachibana's like there, but here's the thing also, is that later in the episode, during the episode, we see these random kids trying to do the Kamen Rider kick off of an elevated spot randomly. We don't know who these kids are. They're just doing it. Random little skinny kid and random fat kid are trying to do the rider kick off of a good 5 or 6 feet up. Mm-hmm. And then Hongo and Taki kind of like lecture them that the Kamen Rider kick is not something children should do. How many times?
Makes sense. Like, don't do this at home. It makes sense. It's like, the Power Rangers would tell a bunch of kids don't do stuff at home. Do it if you're gonna do it in a controlled environment where you had proper conditioning and whatnot.
Those PSAs were so corny, I swear. I'm like, I get the idea, but looking back, I'm like, yeah, again, how many kids threw themselves off their roofs thinking they were Superman? I mean, kids are dumb, and I've said that before. Kids are dumbasses, but they have a right to be because they don't know no better. Mm-hmm. They just think like they're invincible until finally, your leg's not supposed to bend that way. Okay. And then apparently, here's the thing that, again, proves the badassery, not just of Hongo, but of Taki. Because, Hongo fights the squid demon only to get, gassed or vertigoed by him and gets unconscious and starts the whole some gnarly Rob Zombie level dream that the squid monster's gonna kill him, and so he asks Taki that he must train with Taki. We have to have a training montage. Cue Survivor, cue your 80s band of choice, whatever.
Yeah.
And
you're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around.
But again, we have instead of the girls there watching this because they can't know that Hongo is a Kamen Rider, we have these two random little boys that they were lecturing about not jumping off of cliffs and throwing rocks and blah 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 to only do that and for the Kamen Rider. But apparently Taki can take on the Kamen Rider just by himself. Apparently Taki has leveled up like Kazumi Boy and Banjo and Gin Boy back in Build, where they leveled up. Their hazard levels went up because Taki can actually take on the Kamen Rider.
Taki's a level 6 now.
Yep. Taki leveled up. It's crazy. But you're telling me a human can take on a cyborg no problem. Wow.
Apparently so.
Okay. All right. They do a whole rider kick. They throw rocks and blah, blah, blah. The kids see it only to be like, wow, that's cool. Don't try this at home.
Yeah.
I know what you just saw, but that was actual training. And you shouldn't do it because you are not old enough to do it.
Or in a safe enough condition to do it.
Yeah. So don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we cut to Tachibana Sensei being whipped like the dog he is. But then he gets saved by his friend because his friend was actually a secret agent.
Dun, dun, dun.
He actually he's like, no, I did this to help you because blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what exactly did you learn that we didn't already know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't know who the squid demon is. I'm like, I could take a wild guess.
Yeah.
Only for them to be found out.
Clearly, it's Colonel Zoll brought back to life, but as a different animal.
Yeah. Because the thing is that apparently the good doctor finds out about it or has suspicions, and he winds up, and the shocker grunts actually get a kill in. They actually did do something. The damn Lucha Libres.
Yeah.
They killed Elder Kazumi in front of Tachibana Sensei. And we have a very heartwarming, I'm sorry that I hurt you, Tobei. I'm sorry. You were always my friend. Mm-hmm. We had a Spock moment before he got nuked. Although it was more heavier when Spock died because Spock was no asshole.
Oh, absolutely.
We wind up saving Tachibana Sensei. And of course, the final battle, we see Dr. Shinigami standing there, and we're like, oh my God, where's the squid? Where is he? What's he going to do? Is he going to come?
The squid was right here the whole time.
He took off his cape. Like Piccolo taking off his cape at the martial arts tournament in Dragon Ball. Just took it off, and it's like, oh no. Shit's going down when the cape is taken off. And we find out that the squid monster that Tachibana was whipping like a pig was
Dr. Shinigami the whole time.
I'm surprised you let him do that to you, Shinigami Sensei. I really am.
Yeah.
Really am. But
it low-key takes me back to that episode of Power Rangers where Kimberly drank that potion and turned into Rita. And what are you looking at? You gave me such a headache.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Apparently, the meteorite or whatever that was a thing in the beginning. Apparently, that's part of the plan.
Somehow,
technically, like apparently they're pulling asteroids or something from, they never mention it because it's like it's just an afterthought.
Yep.
You know, it's like, so wait, the asteroid came down, so you're using it like what, a natural like bomb or something? I mean, it's not really hinted that that's what you're doing. I mean, you're a kaijin, obviously, but what's this whole thing about meteors and asteroids and stuff like that? Because again, the battle happens. The Doctor and the Kamen Rider fight each other, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty long fight. It's about 5 minutes long.
Which is more than you would get in a typical episode of Kamen Rider.
The Kamen Rider actually gets thrown around and tossed around and whipped around. So Dr. Shinigami, despite his age, is actually, you know.
Yeah, basically it's like if Angus Young was a kaijin.
Yeah. Or Keith Richards.
Yeah.
How he's still around after everything he's done, I don't know.
No, but for real though, like Angus Young, like you've actually seen him perform recently, like I have, not to flex, but it's like he's like barely moving. He looks very decrepit, but he's moving all over the stage while doing a 10-minute solo.
Yeah. But yeah, regardless, I'm guessing like something happened. I guess the Doctor tripped that caused an opening for the Kamen Rider to like literally we're having a Chris Farley rolling down the hill type of moment, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I forget what the movie was, but if there's that famous scene where
Beverly Hills Ninja?
I think it might have been Beverly Hills Ninja, but I think it also might have been Tommy Boy.
Could have been.
Where he's like rolling down, like, oh God, like, and it's like he's.
I know that. What's it called? It was referenced in Hot Rod.
Yeah, it's just like just keep on, and it's like, and then finally, it's an explosion that would rival the island blowing up because the Doctor went out with a bang, literal bang. And apparently, I'm guessing they were trying to use a meteor to kill the Kamen Rider, but because the Doctor died, the meteor hit the shocker base.
Yeah.
And
so the rider just rides off like he defeated the monster.
How meteors got into this plot, I have no idea. But regardless, the Doctor is dead. He ain't regenerating. He's not coming back as Jodie Whittaker. He's dead.
Yep.
He's gone.
He's gone. Finally. E finito. Or so we think. But yeah, moving on to the next episode, we start off with the rider being chained up to a crucifix, and he gets destroyed. And then we flash back to 3 weeks earlier.
All right, well, I'm not a huge fan personally of the whole 3 weeks earlier teaser thing. I feel like, we should start our stories where they begin, not start them where they get interested.
Get out.
What?
Just kidding. It's that wasn't a flash forward. That was just a doll.
Yeah, apparently our kaijin for this episode is a cricket.
Yes, not a cicada.
Not a cicada. But it is a cricket, which is a little smaller than a grasshopper, but still within the same genus. Apparently this cricket is able to
basically he stabs people with his mani-pedi that causes them to also have the same mani-pedi, and then they try to infect other people to also have that same mani-pedi. As he demonstrates with 3 shocker soldiers, it's like, you thought you were helping execute this one dude, but it's actually him executing you.
While I do support and say that proper health and proper care of one's body is important, there's nothing wrong with a man getting a manicure, a mani-pedi. Of course, it's different for men as it is for women,
Oh, yeah.
Nothing wrong with having a spa day, but when the mani-pedi causes you to spread what kind of looks like a zombie virus of sorts.
Hey, it could be worse.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, we could be like Red Man, you know.
Yeah,
We could have that kind of budget, or no budget at all.
yeah.
But,
We could have like proper fangs like these, you know.
where did you? I mean, a grasshopper and mani petties. Like, clearly, this is diabolical stuff because
It's like you'd think you'd at least have like an evil violin, like in what's his name, Abageddon from Bloodstained.
maybe, but again, this is probably one of the more darker episodes that I think, in my opinion, because we actually killed children in this episode.
Yeah,
We actually. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. We upgraded the Kamen Rider bike.
Yeah.
It's a totally new bike.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where we got it, but it's a totally new bike. Now it has wings.
Yep.
But yeah, we actually legitimately kill children in this episode.
Yeah, so we had a professor that likes crickets, and he offhandedly mentions to Takashi, "Hey, kids don't really see crickets anymore. That's kind of sad, And later we have a kid pacing around the Tachibana Race Club, and you're thinking, "Oh, thank goodness Goro's back. Surely he'll knock some sense into some characters." But no, that's not Goro. That's some other random kid waiting for another random kid. Goro was not in this episode. If you haven't figured it out by now, Goro is gone.
I mean, what? Okay, I guess, but it's like, I mean, it could be possible that these were kids that were introduced by Goro or something, but so where's Goro?
Where indeed?
I don't know who's Goro. There was never a Goro here. What are you talking about? Well, it's kind of the same thing what you did with Who's Mari? Who's Emi? Who's Miku? I don't know. Okay, I
who's
guess.
Michi?
Who's Michi? We got some random kids now just walking in here and getting involved with the Tachibana Motor Club for some reason because there's no parental supervision around here.
At least with Ernie's Juice Bar, it's at the Angel Grove Recreation Center. It's a full recreation center. Sure, you have teenage volunteers leading classes, but it's assumed that bare minimum, Jason is a second-degree black belt by the start of the series. Hence, his ability to actually teach a class at the youth center. Heck, I learned Kenpo in the Y.
Well,
granted, I didn't get far in Kenpo because, I'm going to be honest, my sensei was not really the nicest guy. And, I kind of did not renew my membership because, I kind of went to different things. But the point is, you can take a martial arts class at a community center. Tachibana Race Club, I don't think is a community center. I certainly don't see any adults in there other than Tachibana, Takashi, Taki, and the Rider girls.
I know. But, yeah. So...
Where are your parents?
Don't know, because apparently, the professor leaves the kids to the cricket, and, well, the cricket kills the kids. Technically, because they all come back as Manny Petty and Fabuloso. They've been put through drag.
Basically, it's like watching that episode of American Horror Story where that lady gives that blood transfusion to the kid with smallpox because his parents were anti-vaxxers. But the blood she ends up transfusing just so happens to be vampire blood from Lady Gaga. So basically, the kid turns into a vampire that infects a girl in his class, and then the two of them infect all the other kids, and all the adults are dead. I don't remember how everything turns out. I think all the kids get what's the word I'm looking for? Well, if you know what happens to birds during the bird flu, basically we have a kid flu epidemic.
Well, that's what we have here, because one kid affects another and so on and so forth, to the point that, hell, I don't know how it happened, but apparently Taki got infected.
Yeah, like he just puts his hands on the kid. It's like, hey kid, what's wrong? Like, I'm right here. I'm right here. And the kid just casually just doesn't even put that much force into it. He just
you just get touched and that's it. You become
accurate.
Yeah. And that's, but we find out that, well, apparently the sensei, the teacher that left the kids to the cricket, is also in league with Shocker, because, well, he just is. There's really no reason for why he's doing this other than just being a jerk.
Yeah, just
there's
like,
no,
you could even say, oh, he got some of that. He could have gotten some of that Shinigami vertigo.
Yeah, no, there's really no reason why he should be doing this, because, like, not money for research, or maybe he's gonna be a new command or something. He's just an asshole, pretty much, because he winds up trapping Hongo in a padded room, and I mean like a legitimate padded room. Not even his rider kick is strong enough to break this room. Apparently, it's just one big pillow with one small window opening. Which, why would you do that? I don't know.
Yeah, and of course Takashi gets tricked by the professor to follow him into that padded room after basically playing zombie tag with a bunch of kids and Taki.
And of course, Hongo has to kick some ass and knock them out, because he can't kill them. He just has to brutally beat them.
Yeah, while he just does the Vulcan nerve pinch on Taki.
And then Tachibana shows up, obviously, to help.
Yeah, 10 seconds sooner would have been nice.
Yeah. But, we find out that Ambassador Hell had, like, tricked them and designed the room to keep them in there. There isn't a cure other than destroying the cricket, which I'm like, duh. That's how this works. We have to
kill the interesting way. So the Gill Cricket uses his, like, vertigo ray on Takashi, but Takashi does something that Edna Mode would have never anticipated. He takes off his own scarf and uses it to corkscrew himself through bars.
Yeah, again, using the scarf. I'm like, wait, why do we have a scarf? But he did it.
It's finally useful.
It's finally useful. It's not
that Edna Mode.
But yeah, so a fight ensues. Obviously, the cricket gets rider kicked, but also blows up the facility. What happened to the doctor, the professor? We don't know.
It's like the explosions got more, well, visually they look smaller, but story-wise, the impact is much stronger lately. Do you notice how, like, the shark dude blows up an entire island, the cricket dude blows up an entire laboratory?
Yeah, what are these things made out of again? That you like? What is there, like an A-bomb in their chest or something? That kind of, I mean, it would kill the Kamen Rider, but I mean, at the same time, you'd be destroying your own bases. But yeah, apparently the professor just randomly shows up at the motor club and just says how sorry he is for what happened. I'm like, you nearly killed all your students, killed the Kamen Riders.
He shows up, and like Takashi walks up to him, and he has this posture that makes me hope that he's like that he just like smacks him. And one of the most iconic scenes from Kabuto is when Tendo says, is the way he says, "Grandmother said this: children are the future of humanity. Any adult who stomps on their dream is worse than scum."
Yeah, but did that happen here? No.
The dude just says, "I'm sorry," and then like Takashi doesn't even have a chance to say anything. He's like, "Now we got to wrap up the episode. Sorry, Takashi. I know you're supposed to say something to him afterwards, but we're running out of time." So yeah, it's like being Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to shake hands with people. It's like, Oh, Fluffy, you are so funny. I love you. Oh, I have to get going. Thank you for coming. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much until next episode, the monstrous Electrofly. Fireballs attack.
So starting with episode 70, Emmy finally gets some replaced with some more useful blood.
Yeah. But that's it.
Yeah.
Those are the episodes right there.
Yeah, I know we went a little over this week, but we had so much to rag on, especially with the return of Dr. Shinigami. Like,
that was just unnecessary, but you know what? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So, while we did have fun here. We did have fun watching these episodes because it was just the most random plots and random situations that can you imagine any other characters going through this and for us to take it seriously?
No.
I will say I give it all a 7.5 just because of the sheer like of just the outlandish premise that we were going with. Like, you have to train Dr. Shinigami, you got to do this, I'm sorry that I sold you out to the Nazis, but we're cool though. No, we cool. It was just so random. But
any silly thing to get rid of Emmy and Goro.
Like I said, Goro, any useful kid in a series, you're a Goro now. If I call you a Kenny, that means like you are just annoying and serve no purpose. Goro, we will miss you.
Mm-hmm.
You take care of yourself wherever you are, Goro.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some fun, and hopefully the entertainment still goes on, because that's what I've noticed with this Kamen Rider is that the set of episodes, there's some that are worth talking about and just having fun with it, and then the rest are just so plain and boring that it's like, let's just move on from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree with you. Like, across the board, these are 7s, because even in the episodes where something good and interesting does happen, something equally stupid cancels it out. Like, Dr. Shinigami coming back, being a menace. We finally get to see Ika Devil, which, if you grew up in the Heisei era, like, this guy's supposed to be a menace.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing that whole, like, Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa doing the conga line at the Ernie's Juice Bar thing, it's like, I'm sorry, I just can't. It's like the one solace is, again, Emmy's not in the show anymore. Good riddance. Again, I'm not trying to hate on the actress. Like, maybe she's a good actress in other projects. I certainly wouldn't know if she was. But I do know that the way the character was written, she was basically more useless than Mokuba. Heck, Mokuba at least was able to track down where Joey's dual disc is.
Yeah, no, it's very true. It's very true.
And he flew a helicopter all by himself. Can Emmy fly a helicopter? Survey says no. Yeah, I don't think there's really much to say more about this batch of episodes. We got 31 episodes. No. We got 29 more episodes.
29 more,
29. I think it's 29. No, or is it 39? Hold on. I feel really stupid right now. What's 98 minus 69? That's 29 episodes.
Yeah.
So, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Almost there, guys.
Almost there, guys. We're about 70% of the way done. And 2 more movies. We got 10. We definitely have 10 more episodes to cover before we get to the actual second film. So, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Just bear with us. Let's go to the comments. Let's see what you guys have to say. Okay, let's see. All right. So unrelated to the stream, but Goju Polar Designs finally got revealed, and he's a White Ranger. Yeah, we all called it, and we are very happy. Because while White Ranger is technically a very common color for a 6th Ranger,
Oh, we're talking about
it's certainly not as common as having silver or gold. So I'm still happy.
We're talking about number 1 Sentai, right?
Yes, and honestly, I really like the design. It looks like my Jungle Fury fanfic come true.
It's an interesting design. It really is. I'm not too much a fan of the mech, though.
Honestly, I love the mech in this one. Like, it looks so adorable.
Honestly, when it turns into the bear mode, I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. But by itself, not so much. You're right. I mean, the number 1 set we had? Well, no, Boombunger was before, and then before Boombunger, it was
King Oger.
King Oger, yeah. So we had a white spider, then a purple race car, and then now we have a white bear. Which
About time we had a bear for a 6th Ranger.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Q Ranger had bears technically
as extras.
Yeah, well, I mean, either or, but
yeah,
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I was like, yeah, it would have been like maybe if you had gone like more metallic or maybe something that we had not seen since we have a female black. Maybe we could have had like, I don't know, maybe another Crimson Ranger, another darker blue, something,
or maybe green. We only have 2 green 6th Rangers.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I forgot to bring up the searing the last stream, but Japan did a Sentai poll. I think they meant during. Shinken Ren got the most votes. Yeah.
Well, like, what was the poll about? Was it like
your most favorite Ranger?
Well, I mean, think about it. Shinkenger was like 2010?
2009.
2009. So all the kids that watched that show between the ages of like 4 to like 8 are already in their 20s now.
Early 20s at most.
So, I mean, obviously, yeah, they grew up with Shinkenger, and obviously, and Shinkenger was one of my favorite Sentai series, even though a lot of people don't really think it's that good. I'm like, well,
Oh, no, people love Shinkenger. It's Samurai they hate.
Well, no, I mean, adaptations what they are, but I like Shinkenger was my first official full Sentai that I watched at the time that it was that they were airing Samurai, but also Gokaiger was a thing at the time. I came in later on, so at the Gokai era, but I went back because they're showing Samurai. What's the Japanese version of this? So I will admit, Takaru, Ryosuke,
Shaki.
No, it was Mako.
Yeah.
Mako.
Shaki.
Shaki was
the Green Ranger.
Oh no, Chiaki.
Yeah.
And then
Kotoha. Kotoha and Gento.
Ginta.
Yeah.
I actually have a festival print that someone made, like in my room somewhere. Like it's on my wall in the house. But the festival thing, and I was like, I liked it. I enjoyed it. So it's not crazy that Shinkenger got up there because technically, that was a lot of kids' first Sentai. Bravo for that. It's good that Shinkenger gets some love. They should really get an anniversary thing going on. But because Takaru's actor is very, very big in Japan, I would imagine it would take some persuading to do.
Yeah, I can actually answer this question. So basically, after Kamen Rider Stronger in 1975, The show went on hiatus till 1979, where it was rebooted into Kamen Rider, which was about Sky Rider. But it wasn't called Sky Rider until like halfway into the show. And then after Super 1, it went off air for another 2 years before Z-Cross had that 10-year anniversary special, 3 years too late. And then we wouldn't have another season after that until 87 with Black, and then Black RX. And then when Black RX ended in 89, we would have another 11 years of no Kamen Rider until 2000.
Think of it this way. And
that's your answer. It's Doctor Who.
Well, no, it's Doctor Who, but think of it this way for those in the Japanese mindset. Super Sentai is Pokemon, while Kamen Rider is Digimon.
Yeah.
Because, again, to me, whether you call him Ash or Satoshi, you followed him for years, and it was a
30
huge
years straight.
And it's a
25,
huge,
my bad.
Yeah, it's a huge thing that now they're doing different stories with different characters and blah blah blah. Okay,
and not just as an OVA like The Legend of Thunder that's centered around Jimmy.
Yeah, the thing is that, and again, for me looking into it as well, the same thing also happened with Sentai. That there were many a times that the show could have taken a break or maybe stopped production, but it was because they thought outside of the box. Zoo Ranger, Die Ranger, and Kaku Ranger are the big examples of that, because if you look at past teams compared to these, it was more grounded in realism and spies and espionage, but then we started going into fantasy.
Yeah, like you got fairies and cars, and then
everything started to change. But it's like the whole formula started to change with when it came to these three, which inevitably became the American adaptations. And so it just kept on going. There were times that they were like, no, we would have stopped that All Ranger, or but we did Car Ranger, and that sparked up interest, and then we could have taken a break with Aba Ranger, but then we did SPD, and that sparked interest again. It was like, yeah, every generation had, but the Kamen Riders were like, let's take a break. As we do here at the Rider Time Archives. Let's take a break before we get into the next one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty much it's like, then the 2000s hit, and here we are again. And well, look at how Kamen Rider is in the Heisei and Neo Heisei compared to the Showa era. It's night and day, and this night has been turning into an eclipse, where it's like we are getting like more and more bombastic with the stories and the plot and the references and everything. I mean, take a look at how Guy.
One thing I love about Go-Go 5 is that the phrase QQ not only means rescue, but also it's the number 99, which is the year the season came out.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like Kamen Rider had to take a break. They still kept going. I mean, it's still here, obviously. Same thing with Ultraman.
Yeah, it just needed to go through a few reboots before they got it right. And even Toshiki Nui, when he was like working on Kuga, like he and Joe, forgot his last name, were like, it was like, I'm going to turn Kamen Rider on its head. I'm effectively going to destroy the formula. And then of course Joe's like, let's do it. Or actually, I'm imagining him like using this kind of tone. You son of a gun, I'm in.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Because again, if you look at every Kamen Rider, there was now a story, a plot, and a beginning and an end. But it was to the point, and we actually made it make sense. Whereas the Showa era was just pretty much episodic. That's why now I say it's good, but holy crap, it's a lot.
It's harder to sit through when you're actually marathoning it.
Yeah. So
And remember, I had only 3 days to watch all of Sky Rider. That's 54 episodes. I had 2 weeks. Thankfully, I had 2 weeks to watch the original when I made that video.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so who exactly? No, not gonna answer that. You guys should already know this by now. Our executive producer owns this channel. So who would you consider the number one writer in the franchise? Oh, that's easy. Tendo.
In terms of what, like, are we talking about gimmicks? Are we talking about theming? Are we talking about as a person, as the writer itself?
Yeah, it's like asking like who the best writer is a lot harder than like having to deal with that one Morphicon question, that very uncouth question, mind you, where someone asked Alex Hartman and Andrew Gray, and I quote, "Who sucks more, Jaden or Troy?" And yeah, props to the both of them for providing a very witty answer to that question, but no, that person was rightfully disowned from the line. It's like question denied. But that's also why they started screening questions ahead of time at panels, where like the staff member at the microphone who's standing next to the microphone actually asks you ahead of time what your question is before you get to the microphone, so that they could filter out the questions more quickly.
Why would you? Why? I mean, here's what I would ask to this particular person. I bet you watch the Sentai, right? If you are to ask this question, why don't you ask the Japanese actors and actresses who come all the way and want to meet their fans that, yeah, who sucks more, Marvelous or
Tsukasa
from whatever or oh my god, Alta or Marvelous, who sucks more?
Yeah.
What?
Like, why would you ask that?
Why would you?
See, here's the thing. If you had a fan poll, like on your own private blog or Reddit, that's one thing.
But to legitimately point blank in front of people, and I'm again, rag on the actors as you want, but they are actors. They're not. I blame the writers. I blame writers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
you know how many times Andrew Gray made the joke of like, I am a robot, I have no emotions. He straight up made fun of himself. Like,
well, here's also the thing. What was here was one question that I was at a panel for, and I was like, and everyone just kind of booed this, was Claire, who is Gia.
Yeah. Ciara, yeah.
Yeah. Why would this person ask, like, why would you ask personal body measurements for the suit for her and compare it to the Japanese actress? Why?
I remember when Turbo was a thing, they at least try to justify Justin becomes taller during the morph. But like, we didn't question it when Kimberly turned into May. We didn't question it when Trini turned into Boy.
Yeah.
We didn't question it when freaking Catherine turned into Momo. Why are you questioning it now?
Or even the fact, like the
or at all.
Or even the BS that Monica May got with her own personal life choices, which are her own and not doing any harm to anybody.
Oh yeah, no.
Why would you rag on her for that in front of people? Why?
Yeah, like I'm gonna be real with you. Like I'm gonna be real with you. I do not condone shaming burlesque culture because, like,
crazy.
like really well strippers and hookers, but like burlesque, that is a sacred art. I bartended at a place that did burlesque.
You'll chastise the American actors, but not the Japanese.
Oh yeah, all those calendar photos.
No. If you
no.
are ragging on the Americans, but okay with the Sentai women doing it, get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
If you're ragging on both of them, touch grass, but at least you're being consistent.
At least you're being honest.
Yeah.
Not
consistent. No, I wouldn't say honest, just consistent.
Well, at least they're like, you know what? Hey, well, yeah, he's living by his word. But if you're being selective, no, get out.
Like I wouldn't say I would have more respect, but more accurately, I would have less disrespect for a hater that's consistent compared to a hater who has no consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, a hater's a hater, but I would hate a hater slightly less, ever so slightly. They're at least being consistent with their hate.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So are all the writer actors still left? Nope.
Wait, what?
Nope. The answer is no.
Or all? Wait, which Kamen Rider actors?
If you're asking about all writer actors, then the answer is no. If you're talking about Fujioka and Fujioka's still alive, yeah.
Yeah, Fujioka. All the main writers, like from the Showa, they're still around.
Except for Stronger's definitely passed away. Super One disappeared under mysterious circumstances. We're not going to go into that until we go into Super One.
Yeah, I mean, technically, obviously, they were all, like, majority of them were, like, in their mid-20s or 30s when they did these shows, so it's been about 50 years.
Or more.
So, I mean, I know the life expectancy in Japan is a little bit more higher than America, but I would imagine by this point, some of them are still around, but some of them have sadly passed on, which...
Yeah, it's a miracle that the cast of Go Rangers are still around.
No joke.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, they're all still around. Wow, okay.
Yeah, and because our Ranger stuff is still around, that means V3 is definitely still around.
Yeah.
Okay. Do Kamen Riders get mecha? Mostly in the Heisei era.
Yeah, not so much here now.
Yeah, not in the Showa era.
Yeah.
So which Sentai team do you think could cross over with Sailor Moon? I mean, Q Ranger?
Take your pick. Any of them could, but if you're talking about like that would match their motifs or match who they are, I could see, get the inner Senshi, the outer Senshi, the Sailor Stars, and give them a crossover with Q Ranger.
Yeah, like that could work. And don't forget the Sailor Stars.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Sailor Stars. Get them with Q Ranger, it would totally work.
Yeah, if you just want to focus on the main 5 Senshi, like you could go with Car Rangers because they're teenagers.
Kind of the colors do match up. Yeah. So I mean, just take. I mean,
but honestly, I'd rather Yu Yu Hakusho have a crossover with Sailor Moon, if anything.
Yeah,
like you could have Team Genkai crossover with the outer Senshi because you got Kaido, Yana, and Kido teaming up with Setsuna, Michiru, and
Orca.
Yeah.
So, along with Pluto. What's her name?
Yeah, you know what's really funny is that usually it's Michiru whose name I blank out on.
Michiru, Haruka, Setsuna.
Yeah. Usually I remember Haruka, but forget Michiru. For some reason, I'm like moments of Michiru and Hog.
I'm trying. What was? I don't remember.
So could consider Kamen Rider decade as pink or magenta. Definitely magenta. I know that if we're talking about like paint colors, it would be salmon, but the intended motif is magenta because the end is cyan. And Kuga's, I guess he's supposed to be yellow when he goes into Rising Ultimate, I guess. What cartoon is that? I gotta be more specific. We use a lot of cartoon clips. We got Phantom Flying Ship. We got Billy and Mandy. We got Rick and Morty. We actually have a lot of Rick and Morty. So you gotta be more specific. Lady, I officially declare you the dumbest person in Power Rangers ever. Yes, indeed. The Super Sentai I've ever had a moment where a person says the monsters don't exist. I think there might have been rare occasions, but I think it's because, like, in certain episodes, it might take place in a different city, or maybe the fights take place in another universe. I mean, take a look at Tokyuger. Literally, the first episode, you have kids getting kidnapped in the middle of a public playground, and the parents can't even see the trains that are kidnapping them. Are there any kid characters that transform into Kamen Riders? Yes, there actually are.
Actually, have been a few.
Yeah, in fact, in Decade, Kiva and Hibiki are both like 12 or under.
I mean, it was more so prevalent in the earlier Heisei, not so much now, to my understanding.
Yeah, I know that there was an episode where, there was a movie where Deno is a kid, but the thing is, it's actually just Momotaro's possessing Ryotaro's younger self's body. But in that same vein, he possesses the body of a little girl, and he becomes like a little Sailor Senshi Momotaros. Okay, final question of the night. So how come Power Rangers never show blood while Toku shows? Easy, censorship. We have different standards in America than they do in Japan. That's why all the guns are called blasters instead of bullets. They use lasers.
And the thing is that in Japan, it's more so that they treat their children. Obviously, they treat their children more like people than technically we do in America. Whereas we try to shelter the children that you should.
But ironically, in America, we're more open towards public displays of affection, such as kissing, while in Japan, they don't.
It's totally like upside down with that, where it's like you could show blood, you could show visors being broken, people getting stabbed, getting killed, but if someone shows a little bit of affection outside in public, it's like,
yeah, like even when Megumi and Nago got married in the final episode of Kiva. You don't see them kissing. You see like all of the attendees like reacting to them kissing.
Yeah, we don't see it, but it's like finally it's like, or even when in Maji
even
Ranger,
in Pokemon.
Yeah, even in Maji Ranger when Gold and Blue got married, like we were close to it, but it was like no, didn't happen because why? We have to interrupt the wedding. We have to just it's crazy, but I mean that's just they're not afraid to go there. It's best to like the children know, as opposed to here where it's like, well, the hero can't be hurt or anything. Where it's like in Japan, the hero most certainly can get hurt. We've seen it many a times, and here it's very rarely, if any, in a kid's show about superheroes does the superhero actually feel like he got hurt. He's just like, oh, ow, that's it. Whereas in Japan. It doesn't matter, man, woman, or child, they would know. So Kyuger is a very good example of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's basically it for the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, have the emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon. Stay notified for our latest videos. We do Ultraman Zen on Mondays, Kamen Rider Gov on Wednesdays, number one Sentai Go Juju on Thursdays, and we are continuing through Kamen Rider Classic on Sundays. Yeah, we got 29 more episodes to go and 2 movies.
Another month, people. Another month or so.
2.5 more months to go. Yeah, but we're almost done with the third arc. Just 2 more sets of 5 episodes, and we'll be done with that arc. We have to do this eventually. We're doing it now. We won't have to do it later.
Yeah.
And of course, be sure to check out our recent uploads of our Power Morphicon interviews. We got Ron Roger and David Fielding interviews uploaded this weekend. So yeah, that's 2 mentors for the price of 1 Memorial Day weekend. And we have 17-ish more interviews left for us to upload. So definitely more content coming up. Additionally, we did some interviews at Pasadena Comic-Con this past weekend. So you can expect a couple of interviews uploaded of that on this channel, and some of them uploaded in our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do various movie reviews and other content. For instance, we just recently reviewed the movie Sinners, and we are doing YouTube shorts of Gundam G-Quox, episode 7 coming up this weekend. And of course, speaking of movie reviews, this June, we're going to be going back to 1984 at the All Valley martial arts competition, because we're doing Karate Kid month in honor of the new movie that's coming out this Friday. All 6 movies in 1 month. We're going to do it. We're going to love it. You're going to love it. And for 1 or maybe even 2 people that are going to be joining me in these movie reviews, it's their first time watching the Karate Kid movies.
Mm-hmm.
Not for me. I've seen all 5 of them. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And of course, check out our personal content. Where can the people find you?
Yeah, us on IG. Thank you so much for your comments, folks.
And you can find me on Instagram at Boku_Kabuto. And by the way, if you want to say hi to us in person, we will be at the Burbank Marriott on June 8th for Robo Toy Fest. It's going to feature the 20-year anniversary of SPD, featuring a lot of the returning cast members, including Brennan McLaren, Monica May, and Matt Austin. So basically the 3 that go back in time to Dino Thunder era, plus Doggy Kruger himself, John Tui. Additionally, we have the cast reunion of none other than VR Troopers. That's right. Brad Hawkins, Mike Hollander, and Sarah Joy Brown. I can't wait to meet her in particular, because not only have I never actually met her, but also she was in a couple of projects with Sean Kanan. So we actually have some stuff to talk about. Is there any conventions you're going to be attending soon?
Hopefully Robot Toy Fest, but so far nothing is solid yet.
Yes, and additionally, while we won't physically be present, we do recommend you guys also check out Ranger Stop and Pop in Atlanta, Georgia at the Omni Hotel on June 13th through the 15th. It's a 3-day convention. It's going to feature all 6 Mystic Force Rangers, as well as many other Rangers here and there, and some Japanese cast members as well. So definitely be sure to check that out. Get your tickets before they run out. We hope you guys go and enjoy your time there. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks at Robo Toy Fest. And until then, stay safe, stay hydrated, update emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and we'll see you again next time. Have a good one. Bye.